research.
Good.
Brian Moore's got a little. So, I mean, it's better
Like a
than a
mini,
service dog.
like a mini Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Aw,
So it's working out good for him.
good. That's really great. Really good to
Now
hear.
we're trying to give him good experiences that will, he wouldn't have anywhere else. So that when he goes to test, he can hit the ground running,
Yes.
make it worthwhile.
Yes, that's awesome.
So,
I got a phone. I looked at something else.
Valerie.
Monday, 17. So, yep, we're getting there slowly but surely.
Good.
I really wish Greg would have came to this.
Huh?
I wish Greg would have came to this. Like,
Why is that?
oh, we're having to call our phone in the lawyer
Oh,
to set up the hearing date
well,
for an appeal.
I see.
But
Fun.
it's not even.
Pretty good. Not as busy as you.
No.
It'll be nice when the flood goes away and everybody get back to a normal life.
I can't. It really affects me because I'm done at compost when that road closes. And then I have equipment that goes away to landfill. And every morning you have to get trucked in, which could take, half hour to an hour out of your day in the morning and probably 45 minutes out of your day and possibly close to an hour overtime depending on trains.
Yeah, the trains are the worst. Every time I go there, literally every time I go there, I have to leave. I literally leave like
Early.
an hour early to
Just
get
in
there
case.
on time, just in case.
That's
Yeah.
kind of why I was also here so early because
Oh, yeah.
before I left, I stopped up at Tri-State Engines, which is up by
So she's.
machine shed, and to pick up some parts, and then came down here. I'm sitting going, oh, that went a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, I'm lucky that Dan Meyer is such a nice guy because the very first time, this was a year ago, the first time I even had set up like an interview process with him, I was 30 minutes late because I honestly didn't know about the trains, and so I left 15 minutes ahead of time, and I thought I would be there, and then I was like 30 minutes late, and I was like apologizing, and he was like, don't worry about it, like,
That's the way of the world down there.
We know.
I had no idea.
Well, you have no control.
Yeah.
What's it? They're blocking for 45. They blocked it for 2 hours before.
That's the thing is it was just sitting there. I'm like, and then I didn't even know there was a back way, so I didn't realize there was two ways to get there. So that first time I was just stuck, and then the last few times I've used the back way to get there. So
Right now, there's only the back way.
Probably would
Okay.
right too.
And there's only going to be the back way for a while because
Yeah.
Concord ain't going to be very good.
No, although
It's been under for how long?
15, I think it's supposed to be at 15 either Sunday or Monday.
It'll still be under.
It'll be under, but
13.
you'll be able to see the crown,
Oh.
hopefully.
It goes under at like 13, 13 and a half.
So,
Well,
the-
in
the-
places you'll be.
Right. Enchanted Island stuff's a little bit lower, but right there in that front part, from there to water
Yeah, that
pollution's a little bit higher.
Yeah. Except you'll be able to get through it.
Right.
But it's still because who knows?
I drove down that new railroad, gravel road.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice. Other than it's a one-lane road.
That's gonna be interesting. Very interesting.
Well, there's a lot of things with the railroad that have been interesting.
Wow, it was during that. It was up to at 26, 27, and they were just semi gravel
Yep.
in front of Esco's. I just sitting there watching them going, okay.
Yep.
So you're on a closed road.
As far as they keep it.
Is that on her cell phone?
This number, she was out of the office.
So the message that I sent her was that we'd call her between 9 and 9:10.
Is that to her office?
I would imagine.
That's directly to her office, yes.
Yeah, she's on the road.
Does she have another line? Because that's what she told me to use. We're still waiting. Did Greg send it to you, Steve? I'll see if he sent me another different link. I just checked, it wasn't there, so this was the only one.
Come on, Greg.
Call the meeting to order at 9:05, it looks like, 9:06. Need the approval of today's agenda.
I approve the agenda.
All in favor? Sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Approval of the minutes.
I move approval of the minutes.
Seconded.
All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. So moved. We got a couple things on the agenda that we're going to skip around because of time. But first, we want to welcome the new commissioner and let him introduce himself, if you don't mind, a few minutes.
It won't take too long. My name is Mike Schertz. I live in North Davenport, and I'm retired, but I'm not a person that can just sit still. So I met with the mayor to see if there's anywhere I could serve, and this is where I ended up. So we'll see how it goes. It looks exciting. We lived in Davenport 4 years, lived in Bettendorf for 30 years, so it's kind of a transition. So I'm looking forward to doing this and seeing if I can help serve the community.
Thank you. Hopefully you met everybody else that's here, and we'll move forward from there. We have a hearing that we were going to do first, but apparently they're not hooked up, so we have to move on to the next agenda, which is the appointment of chair and vice chair at this time. So who wants to lead that in?
Yeah, sure. Chairman Kelly has expressed that he would like to remain the chair if everyone is agreeable to that, but you do need to appoint a vice chair. The prior vice chair was Commissioner Irwin, who is no longer on the commission.
I would like to appoint, or not appoint, but recommend Patricia for the vice.
And I can do that. That would be fine.
We need a motion and a vote, I think.
Yeah, let's do a motion and a vote on both, please.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign? So moved. It says we also need to appoint a clerk.
It's kind of jumped around a little bit. I believe that prior to my appointment as HR director, it switched between Dawn Sherman, who was the prior HR director, and Barb Reagan, the administrative assistant. I did take a poll across the state of our peer cities and who the clerk of their commissions are whenever we look at our peer cities. And I would say that the majority of them, it is the either the HR director or someone in an HR manager type of role. The statute that governs civil service does say that in a city of a size over 75,000 that you do appoint the clerk. The local ordinance on this topic further says that the clerk needs to be a employee of the city. And then just some of the roles and responsibilities of what this person does, mainly just a custodian of the records, sets the agenda, distributes it, maintains the civil service personnel records of each civil service employee, certifies the records, manages the appeal process, and then also takes in subpoena requests, the media coverage for hearings, those types of things. I would say that's accurate, yeah.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. So moved. Are we ready for the hearing?
We are going to try a different phone number.
Okay.
Hello? Hi, is this Jill? Yes. Hey, Jill, this is Lauren with the City of Davenport. We've got our Civil Service Commission here, so I'm ready for the subcommittee update. Okay, great. I'm in my car. Okay. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get off at the exit here so I can pull my calendar out. Okay, and we do have you on speaker. Okay.
Okay. Are we ready?
She can
Is she presenting first, or are we?
She's pulling up.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm ready if you're waiting on me.
Okay.
So do you have dates that you're available, Jill, or, I mean, we have to set it not less than 5 from today or not more than 20 from today unless you guys want to waive that in writing.
Okay, well, I am looking at my calendar and I have some, I guess dates to stay away from Greg Hearns. So let's see, today is the 12th, so, I mean, I don't think we'd have a real issue waiving the 20 if we can't make it work.
Then let me ask you this, what the next regular meeting of the commission is July 10th.
July 10th. Yeah, actually that will, yeah, that would
Mr. Hearns was not available.
Okay.
And I'm flipping back and forth here with my dates and, I mean, are there dates that everyone there is available or not available that I should be looking at, or you want me to just throw something out there?
I don't know if the commission has talked about dates that they're available outside of the next meeting or not, so.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, could we look at something the week following the July 10th, the week of the 15th? Because that's clear for me, and it looks like that would be clear for Greg Hearns as well. Other than the Monday the 15th, I already have a hearing scheduled that day. So like the 17th, the 18th, the 19th of July, something in there.
Are you all available the 19th or the 17th? We're not available then, so
She said the 17th, 18th, 19th. I don't know how those work for all of you, so I,
I'm gone until the 19th.
right.
okay. So it looks like you're gonna have to go the week after that, Jill.
Yep.
Okay. That's a bad week for me. I've got stuff this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, unfortunately.
What is that?
Brian, what about the week of July 8th? We could try to move the civil service meeting schedule for the 10th to a different day, if that works.
Actually, Greg Hearns from Local 238 told me he's out all of that week, so he would not be available.
What does August look like?
So what does August 14th look like for you guys, Jill?
I have a hearing that day. Let's see. What about the last week in July? Does that have, anybody have any openings then?
That week.
You're out of town.
Mr. Chair, I'll be out of town. I mean, I think if you have a quorum, then
What are you?
it's acceptable, but
It's impossible for me to know. I mean, I could put it in here and try my best.
if you have three, you've got enough.
Mr.
For
Schwartz,
the first week in August,
are you available?
be open for me other than the Friday, the 9th.
What about Wednesday the 31st of July?
That would work for me.
Mr. Schwartz?
What are you back at now?
July 31st.
So far, I can do that.
We have a quorum. So,
So it looks like July 31st, I assume, at 9
yes.
in the morning.
Okay.
You'll have to file a written waiver of the time, or your
Okay.
or your client can do that. I mean, that's between the two of you, but you'll have
Sure.
to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I am heading out of town right now for a case. Do you need that done immediately today, or?
Just as soon as you can do it.
Okay, okay. I will, it may not be until Monday because I'm out today, tomorrow, and another hearing on Friday, but I'll do my best to get it to you. as quickly as
That's
possible.
fine, as long as we get it within the 20 days.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so July 31st at 9 a.m.
Yes.
That's correct, yep.
Okay, great. That will work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So you'll make sure that we get a reminder prior to that, if you could.
We will.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next item, which is the civil service rules and regulations update. Old business.
Yep. So in front of you, in your packet, you do have sections 1 and 2. Some of them do not have any changes, but we have gone ahead and moved everything to a new format and thought it would be wise just to have the commission reissue everything, since for the most part it's been quite a few years since they have been reviewed. Just as a reminder on the procedure here, so at this month's meeting we will present them to you, and then you will not take any action on anything here until next month's meeting. At next month's meeting, you would take an action either up or down on these policies, and then I plan to bring forward sections 3 and 4 for review at that one. Those would then be voted on at the August meeting. So I'm hoping by the end of the summer we will have completed a comprehensive review of all of these rules.
If we have proposed changes, do we get a hold of you?
That would be great.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know if you would like me to go through what we've proposed here, or if you would like to read through these on your own. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, then let's do that. You have them here. They are redlined. So if you have any changes, concerns, comments, you can just email me or call me. Also, I'd be willing to meet. So just let me know and get your feedback back to me somehow.
Thank you. Certification list.
All right, Scott is not here with us today. He is leading the graduation for the Davenport Strengths Institute. Today we do have a cohort graduating, but he did run the police lieutenant process, so I will present that to you in his absence. This is a promotional position within the police department, and I think it's important to note here that it's the first supervisory position outside of the bargaining unit. So it is not a police union position. It's non-bargaining. There were 3 components to this process, which we had brought forward to you for approval before. There was a written exam that counted for 45%, an assessment center that also counted for 45%, and then an interview for 10%. We had 11 sergeants apply. 1 did not pass the written. The other 10 did. The 10 that did pass the written also passed the assessment center and the interview, so there are 10 on the list. Which also, under the statute, we can only have a max of 10 on that list also, so that's a full list. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How and who chooses the one person who gets it?
That would be appointed by the chief.
Okay.
Are we good to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. So the next list that we have is the custodian position. It's an entry-level position in the maintenance facility division of Public Works. The exam was 100% of the component. All qualified candidates were sent a background investigation. List is ready for certification today, and I've provided the starting salary. This is also going to be starting at step 1, and it is part of the Teamster Union. Just kidding. All right. So we had quite a few applicants with this one, 73 applicants. 1 completed more than 1 application. 40 did not show for the exam, and then 5 failed the exam, but we did have 27 who passed the exam. So with that being said, because the exam is 100% of the component, we took the top 15 candidates who qualified with the highest standing as a result of this examination, and we took that from the rule 2.8. So that's how we get the top 15 from that, and it's in score order. So we literally go score order and then cut it off at the top 15. 15 candidates completed the background investigation, and of the 15, 14 passed. So that's why we have 14 on the list today instead of the overall 15. Okay? Any questions on that one?
No.
All right, we'll move on to signal technician. This is an entry-level position in the signals and streetlight division. We actually brought this one to your attention at the last meeting, I believe, because we had to make some changes in the qualifications and standards. So for this one, the written exam was worth 30%, the interview was worth 70%. All qualifying candidates were sent a background investigation invitation. List is ready for certification, and below is the starting salary range. This one is also part of the Teamster Union as well. I have included the minimum qualifications in this position, and the reason for that is, again, this was something that we touched on in the last meeting. I've also provided this because you will notice that quite a few people got knocked out because they did not meet the minimum qualification. But I believe that's because the signal technician, it is a very specialized position in the sense that this person is working on our streetlights, driving our city vehicles. So it really is necessary to have those minimum qualifications in order to perform the job to the best of your ability. So we had 22 applicants. We did have 3 complete more than one application, 12 who did not meet the minimum qualifications. 1 withdrew, 3 did not show, and then 1 actually failed the written exam. But we did have 2 pass the interview and then move on to the background investigation. And of those 2, we did actually have 1 person who failed the background investigation. So that is why we have 1 candidate on the list today.
Okay.
The sewer equipment operator, a lot of Teamster positions this month. This was actually a promotional position in streets. I'm happy to report that there were 2 employees who applied, and both employees passed this test. So that's definitely a testament to their interest in the position as well as what they do on a day-to-day basis. So both of them are on the list for certification today. And then we have the mechanic position. This is an entry-level position in the fleet division. The exam, again, was worth 100%. All qualifying candidates were sent the background investigation. We have the list that's ready for certification. I did want to note that we do have a signing bonus for this position. So we really are, and I feel like I've probably said this multiple times throughout the last few months, but we are really in need of mechanics. So it is our hope that with a signing bonus that we are able to recruit more mechanics. However, I will tell you that it has been a struggle. You've seen the mechanics list come up many times, and it's because we expire it almost every single time. So this list actually is a little like sign of light in the sense that I believe we have 3 who went through the entire process, which sometimes we only have 1 candidate on the list. So it's nice that we have 3 to choose from this time. Our applications, we had 5 applicants. 1 again completed more than 1 for the same position. So that's why, and I always say that because when you get the report, I want you to be able to understand like what those numbers mean. That's why I break them down for you, just so you know, since this is your first time. We had 3 candidates who passed the exam out of the 4. All 3 candidates passed the background investigation, so that's why we have 3 on the certification list today.
What is the signing bonus? How much is it?
Yeah. So the signing bonus is $1,000, and they have to be with us for the year. They have to commit for the year, and if they're not with us for the year, then they actually have to pay it back.
Who made that determination?
That was a determination between our finance department, our human resource department, and also the hiring manager.
That's a union position.
It is.
And they agreed with that?
I believe so, and so, yeah, and the reason why and if you want to speak to why we made the agreement, you're welcome to, Steve.
It's actually before my time.
Oh, okay. So Christina, I was going to say I can bring in Christina as this is my understanding of it was because we've had such a difficult time recruiting mechanics, that this is why we have included a signing bonus, because there has been no agreement on increasing the salary, the step schedule. So because there isn't an agreement to increase the salary schedule, there was an agreement to include a signing bonus in order to hopefully recruit more mechanics. Because if you look across the board, like when we do research and see what they're paying mechanics at other establishments, it's actually quite a bit higher than what we are currently paying mechanics. Now, granted, what I come to find is our benefits package compensates for some of that lack of pay.
However, when you're a new employee, sometimes you don't always take in the benefits package as a entire compensation. And so sometimes you're only seeing like the dollar amount and not really the entire package as it's given to you.
I just wonder why that wasn't something that was brought to us before it was implemented.
So this was
What we can do, though, is start notifying you once we do reach agreements like this. We can just copy you in on that so that you are aware whenever we are implementing signing bonuses, that type of thing. But as Christina said, under Chapter 20, especially with a bargaining unit, pay and wages are negotiated between the employer and the union.
Normally, bonuses are done on merit, or they're done on across the board. So in other words, when I look at other positions that we struggled with, like the police department for a while, there were no signing bonuses. When I looked at, as you had said, the mechanics, in the prior years, we didn't offer that. And I just wondered how that came to come into the conversation now without being notified.
Okay.
So thanks.
Thank you.
You have a question?
They actually implemented this about, I think, 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, did they? The signing bonus?
Yep. Yes. I know this because that's when I was hired and I actually received one.
But it's never been on documents.
On the, I think we just put this on here this time to alert you that we are doing this as a way to recruit more applicants so that we're not continuing to bring this list to you every couple of months.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions?
I think we're good.
Okay. So then we need to vote on these. So I need a motion.
I move to approve the certification list.
Second.
Any discussions further? If none, vote. All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved. We need to sign those.
Yep, I will send those down your way here in just 1 second. The only thing I wanted to add here is you'll see on your agenda there is a joint meeting scheduled with the Davenport City Council for December the 10th of this year. I would propose there that we eliminate the meeting on the 11th. So you have a normal meeting scheduled for December 11th, that we start that meeting on the 10th about 30 minutes early. We'll try to keep that agenda pretty light for you. And then go straight into that meeting with the council.
Any questions?
What time on the 10th?
The meeting is scheduled for 4 p.m., so I would propose probably having you arrive around 3:30 to approve any lists that we have.
I would, that's fine, I just don't know that I'll be able to attend, so as long as you got quorum, you'll be okay, but I've got some things I can't reschedule. I don't have control over.
Anyone else unable to attend on the 10th at this time? You're checking.
I'm okay for now.
Mr. Schwartz?
I'm ready. I'm good.
Okay. We just need the list.
While she's passing the list, can we revisit the civil service rules?
Yes.
Make you multitask and the
Okay.
list. Looking at 2.7, it discusses the disclosure of test scores. Is it currently our practice for you not to include test scores on the list for certification?
That's correct. You just see names on your list here in score order, but you do not see scores.
So basically, it was just reworded to note, instead of without their test scores, to note, but test scores will not be included.
That's right. The purpose of altering B here, so rank means something different to us. It really, especially when we talk about police and fire, and even at Public Works, rank can mean more seniority based or position based. So all I did here was just adjust this just so that it clarified that it was in the rank of test score order, so that there could be no misinterpretation that that meant in rank of position or in rank of seniority or anything like that. Just clarifying that it's in score order.
I think that's, in my opinion, fine. I know we're not approving today. I just was trying to clarify that. And then is there any known policy of why we don't give out the test score?
That's a great question. I would like to check the state statute on that. I'm not sure if it's included there. So let me look into why we don't do that, and we can present something back to you next month.
Any other questions?
Do you mind handing me?
I see 2 or 3 I know on there. That's good.
No, where's one of them? I had me work, Dennis. Some issues.
Piper. I have a grandson who's a Davenport policeman, but he doesn't want a promotion. He likes being on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandson's best friend is the one who got shot. Ryan Leibel. But he's doing fine.
Is there anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Have a nice day.
Well, I won't be here next month for the regular.
Next one, Are you?
Great day.
Oh, yeah, you too. In Korea?
My granddaughter's.
Oh,
got to
jeez.
file over there and I'm putting a visitor.
Oh, wow.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. This is first time?
I've actually been to Korea before when a
Oh, have
different
you?
grandchild was there.
Oh, jeez. I've never traveled to Korea. Well, I have no desire.
Oh, it's not a lovely place.
Oh, it's not?
No. And when my kids are little, laugh at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, which one is this?
This is my daughter Cindy.
Okay.
Do you know my daughters?
I just know Kathy.
Well, Cindy and Chris are both magistrates, so
Okay.
you might run across them sometime.
Okay.
Kathy doesn't have a daughter, she only has.
Spread it around a little bit. Hopefully have a safe travel. How long a flight is that?
14 hours.
Jeez. No, my wife had to take pills when she went to Greece, just in case. Of anxiety.
No, I don't, I love the fly. My problem is my legs get fancy.
Okay, I will call you.
Okay, that'll be great.
Okay, we can just walk through.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
I have a few more things for
Okay,
you.
okay.
And I'm taking this with
Yes.
me.
Yes,
Yes.
please
I can
do.
read.
Yes, please
Okay.
do. And then call me if you've got any edits.
I will, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Okay, Tina. Okay, so we need this signed and notarized that officially appoints me as the clerk.
Yep.
So you will sign here and date.
There never was an appointee after,
Dawn or
Barb.
Barb?
Barb,
No,
no.
I've just been doing it, so we just
we
need
should
to.
have taken care of that.
Okay, and then I'll sign and get her to notarize.
Okay. Probably could pen these out.
Yeah.
I don't know why this reads so thick compared to the other ones.
There's that, and then there's the letter of transmittal.
Do I need to see his ID? Usually I do.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Is that okay? Do you mind?
What?
Can I
Do
see
you have your ID?
No, I don't.
Okay. You don't?
Don't carry with
You're gonna vouch for me?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will.
I am.
This is Mr. Kelly.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Today is June 12th, isn't it?
They do, and they're good cooks.
Get that to the council.
No, I don't, unless, there's something important. I try not to carry those. I have a tendency to lose things,
I know.
unfortunately.
All right, thank you.
It's like,
Good, how are you?
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
He's a big guy. He's 17 pounds, and he's 4 months.
Okay.
There you are, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very
no
much.
problem.
He's giving mom goodbyes